Well, welcome back to Nightly Nonsense. I realize every show I'm on, I do welcome back, right? So I don't have another thing. Welcome back to Nightly Nonsense. We may try to make some nonsense out of the nonsense that's all around us. Actually, that's supposed to be we make sense out of the nonsense all around us, right? And I just create more nonsense, which is what I'm doing right now. Lots to say. Haven't been on in a very long time, but there is just so much to say and talk about around us today, right? We are caught up in the Olympics right now, and I don't want to talk about all of the controversies and bring things back up. You've heard about the many different controversies, and the truth is, in every Olympics, there are controversies, right? Because there's this common phrase, and it's from the Bible, so we all get to use it, right? Paul warns us, tells us, it encourages us to run the race in such a way as to what? Win the race, right? And that is fantastic truth. Run the race in such a way as to win the race. You know what the problem with that is? You know what I want you to chew on tonight? Is all of us have a different idea of how to run the race in such a way as to win the race. Yeah, there are countries who believe that, hey, listen, it's okay to take enhancement drugs, right? There are countries that believe it's okay to do whatever you need to do, right, to win the race, right? Run it in such a way as to win it. So do whatever you need to do. Right, so if you're on bike and somebody's next to you, you just give them a little shove, a little tap, and right, and they wipe out, and 30 people behind them wipe out, and that's okay because you're gonna win. Right, we have changed it to winning is what's important. You know what Paul said? Paul didn't say win the race at all costs. Paul said run the race in such a way as to win. So tonight, I want this short, super sweet, right? Which is this: are you running your life? Are you running the race of your life in such a way as to win? Are you just concerned with the winning part? It doesn't matter how I do it. It matters that I win. Right? God says over and over and over, it matters how you do it. Right? It matters how you do it. You can win a race and do it in the entirely wrong way, and you get no credit for God. Right? Let me give you an example of that. Right? Your neighbor, right, is struggling and suffering. Right? And so God says to you, hey, how about if you make a meal for your neighbors? Right? And you go ahead and you go to the local restaurant and you order some meals, right? And you give it to them, you drop them off, right? And you just say, here, I need to give you these meals, right? And you leave. Do you realize how much can go wrong with that, right? That's not running in such a way as to win the race. That's winning the race. I handed my neighbor some food. Do you know they could be allergic to what you ordered? They could simply not like what you ordered, right? There could be a whole bunch of things that could go wrong, right, with just dropping people off some food. But we're to run it in such a way as to win, which means this, right, that I go to my neighbor and I know what they like. I ask, right, hey, I want to make you some food. What can we make you? And they tell me, man, my favorite food is lasagna. I'm like, great, I love to make lasagna. So we make lasagna and we give them some bread and we make them their favorite dessert, right, or whatever, and we take it. And I take it over to them. Do you know that it still exists, the possibility that they will not like my lasagna? I love my lasagna, mostly sauce. I love sauce. That's what I really like, right? Do you know other people can't stand it? They want to have a dry, right, lasagna. They want to taste every noodle, all the meat. I don't understand why you want to taste anything but the sauces, that kind of stuff. But you can send a meal over to your neighbors, and they can hate it. And you could have won the race. Why? I asked them what they wanted, right? I thought about them. I made it in connection with God. We're not always, right, able to control the outcome of a race, but we can always control how we run it. You're not always going to be able to get the raise, the promotion, the things that you want. You're not always going to make the people around you happy. You're not going to make every vacation with your kids the best vacation. You're not going to make every moment with your spouse, with other people, the greatest thing in the world, right? I think there's some people that think if people don't leave my house going, it was the greatest, right, that somehow I failed. No, you can do everything right. And somebody can sit there and be miserable. How do I know this? Well, because I see it every Sunday, right? And I see it all over the place. I've seen people put tons of energy, tons of effort. Again, I used to do Bible schools. We spent hours decorating, hours doing great things, amazing things, right? I can remember the time that we did a country, type of thing, right? A farm type of thing, ranch type of thing. And I had hay bales up on the stage, and it was fantastic. And I literally rode one of my horses from my house to the church so that I could ride her in on the first night. And there were kids like, it doesn't matter. And I'm thinking, holy cow, if somebody had ever walked into our church with a horse, that'd be great. There's all kinds of things that happen that we can't control the outcome. You can't always control whether something is a win or a loss, but you can run it in such a way as it, right, depends upon you to try to win and lose. Like, that's where the key comes. So, thinking about Olympics, think about that tonight. How are you running your race? Are you running it in such a way as to win? We'll see you next time right here. Nightly Nonsense.